Welcome back to Crown's Crypto Cave, wishing you a happy and healthy start to this nice little Sunday morning over here from a very, very slow Helsinki, Finland. Not just slow in Finland, but also slow in the good old charts going on right here as well from yesterday to today. But a bit of a Darth Maul dildo has appeared, and what does that mean? Well, we're going to get into that soon enough, because if we get into the Crown Chain application over here, which we found at app.currency.net, which has the most free quant data in all of the internet lands that I'm aware of, there's actually not too many new things to be speaking about right here. Although of interest, or I guess maybe of interest to some, we see Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Gold, Airweave, Audius, Tezos, and Terra all having some pretty nice gains over the past 24 hours here. I think even saw like Bcash rallying up as well. Other than that, though, everything in the market data tab was pretty much stock standards for what we did see over the last 48 hours, so I don't have too much to update right there. We do see that global funding rate is continuing to increase ever so slightly, which is, to be expected on a nice monumental rally of $21,000 from 29 to 50,000 bucks. And also we do see that global open interest is putting in what could be the next higher low on this right here if you do want to be bullish as well. Everything else, though, is more or less, well, kind of important, yes, but we just haven't seen any changes. So I do want to make this one a little bit more on the quick side, because there's not a lot to do with that, but we can come up over here on the short-term timeframes and go over the range that we spoke about from yesterday's video. And I want to take a second here to kind of slow down and talk about the whole weekend bullshit price action, because this is a perfect example right here. You see a big wick to the upside, you bring it above resistance just for a second, and then you smash it back down, and then bring it below support, your short-term right there on the 4 hour, and where do you find yourself? Right smack dab in the middle of the goddamn range, pretty much almost instantaneously right after that. And that is pretty damn classic, and that is why I do not really care to trade over the weekends. If I am going to trade over the weekends, I want to look at obvious levels, and I do not want to be taking breakout trades. Yes, sometimes it does happen here and there when you do have a bit of a professional breakout setup coming into Friday, but we actually don't have that for right now. So with that in mind, sideways is the name of the game. However, as long as Bitcoin does essentially hold above 48,000 bucks, I do look at this as more or less good. We can go through a few examples right here, but most importantly with this, as long as we are just also between the top end at about 49.3 and the bottom end at about 48,000 bucks even, I don't look at this as anything too concerning, just a bit of sideways price action right here. And sideways right now does favor the boo laws. Pretty much anything above our last daily high or low favors the boo laws, which is about 47,000 bucks actually on a closing basis right now, which we're going to go into a little bit more interesting things right there. In fact, that's probably the only interesting thing that I have to talk about today that already hasn't been said, but let's go into it right here and look at momentum also to see what we're populating right now. And we do see that this whole move, even on a 4 hour, is coming on declining volatility. Now, of course, I imagine the hourly is going to be different. Yes, indeed it is, but even that one not getting all the way up there, just at a 70 percentile. And again, still holding the range right here, which is really not going to mean much of anything, at least for the short-term timeframes. We do see a bit of a reset on 4 hour Joule, and we do see that 4 hour RSI is flat as a fucking doorknob. And with that in mind, a bit of hidden bearish evidence right there, but is that even playable? In this case, I would say probably not, no. And if you were looking to play, you've already missed the $1,000 move most likely as well. Actually, a little bit more than that, to be fair. So hey, it could have been a bit of a scalp worthy one right there. And realistically, when I do get a signal like that over the weekend specifically, yeah, it probably is going to end up being a bit of a good range scalp. But overall, this is, as we did say yesterday, a big setup for the week to come. Once CME opens up a little bit later today, which remember, CME did close the week at 48,500, which is rather interesting because that's where Bitcoin spot price action is at right now. It was looking pretty damn good. So I suspect that Bitcoin very likely on spot price action does trade sideways into CME open, and then we probably see some action between CME open and then tomorrow New York Stock Exchange open. And with that in mind, CME still more or less good right here. Drive of regular bullish evidence come off that last low into that nice move and nice closure on Friday. I believe that this is also going to be supported by hidden bullish evidence of multiple drives on 12 hour RSI right here as well. So again, I do like this setup right here. I mean, we do have essentially this continuation of trend, and again, this higher low coming in on declining volatility. In fact, the whole damn thing has been coming in on declining volatility overall. What does that essentially suggest? Well, it suggests that we're probably consolidating within the context of the current trend, and the current trend is what? It is to the upside, as we do have higher highs and higher lows, and momentum also does suggest that as well. If I was just making this video for myself, just trading my own strategies, well, we have trend, we have momentum, we have volatility. Interesting. That's all that it needs to be. But we can do a little bit more for the TA nerds right now as well. And of course, we did see the daily closure on Friday as well for CME. And this did come in on very, very low volatility, which this is to be considered, especially in lieu of what we did see on spot price action as the next higher low. And what's interesting about the daily right here is that this one could also populate 1, 2, 3 drives of hidden bullish divergence. And it very likely will actually. And it will be confirmed with any sort of a move back above Friday's high at 49,250 within the next daily dildo. That actually looked pretty damn good. Again, this higher low coming in on a very, very low volatility. So if we do start to see that expand alongside that higher low being confirmed, which would simultaneously confirm hidden bullish evidence right here, I would be looking for a move up above 50,000 bucks. Very likely somewhere around 51,000, even to 51,500 in this blue box territory right here. Perhaps a little bit of a short-term pullback from there, but ultimately, and more importantly, if Bitcoin does start to clear above that region, especially on like a 12-hour or a daily, I would really start to extend targets up to the one spot 272, which is about 56,000 bucks right here, and also your breakdown levels from early May actually. With that in mind, I imagine, or I suspect, that we also closed, I believe, a 5-day yesterday. Yeah, we did close a 5-day yesterday on spot price action. Not really giving us too much right here, but it actually does give us a pretty damn good bias right now as well, meaning that, as long as Bitcoin is more or less hanging this one well above last 5-day low, which is 46,300 or so, kind of around that higher low on the daily as well, on a closing basis that is, or sorry, on a wick basis that is, then I do look at this as still, more or less likely to push its way onwards and upwards for one more to 56,000 bucks before getting, a greater pullback within this region. Also, we are within the midst of getting a crossover between the 10 simple and the yellow 20 nice punch average right here as well. And just to go over a few examples of this, and that'll actually lead me into what I probably want to talk about most on this video. But let me just get, I guess we're actually good right there. But, this has been more or less good over the history of Bitcoin. You can see the last time we had a cross like this was way back on over here, and that led up the whole move from basically 8,500 to, well, the highs at 65. We do see this one over here, a bit of a fake out, but still, even after getting the cross. In fact, this one, eerily similar to what we're doing right now, just as an aside, but from cross given to next high, we actually did put in about a 50% extension of that move as well. This one over here, obviously phenomenal, getting this base right here before, massive girthy green dildo party to the upside, 159%, not bad. And then this one took us all the way down from 2018 to 2019 actually. And then this one over here, we do see it actually led Bitcoin all the way up from 2015 November to the $20,000 high over here. For a, well, 6,900% rally, not bad. This one over here, a bit of a bull trap as well. But as you can see, even after the signal was given, did have a nice rally party of about 17%. So even on those trappy scenarios, double-digit gains from that level were still usually being had. This one over here, pretty damn good one as well, as you can see. This one coming in all the way from bottom to top at about almost 1,000%, not bad. And then of course we do have a few more iterations over here, but I don't expect that we need to necessarily go over them. As you can probably already guess it, they're going to be pretty damn impressive, and I don't want to be giving out that moon boy hopium right now. It's still more or less short-term range, long-term trend, and potential trappy situation within this region. As Bitcoin, again, if you do want to be bearish, there's actually a really good reason to be potentially majorly bearish actually here, and that is because the weekly reversal is still a topic of consideration. While Bitcoin has gone on this massive rally right here, it would be considered just a lower high compared to our May highs right here, obviously, and we did get a lower low over here. So it's kind of like back in April, May, remember, where Bitcoin made this first move down, and I was actually bullish all the way up into here. I'm always going to be like that. Same thing on the lows as well. But it's this move right here where Bitcoin takes out the prior daily low, which was this area right here at 51.3, where we said, hey, something new is going on now. It's not time to be wildly bullish. It's time to be looking for a lower high. And where do we find that lower high at? Well, in this case, right around the 618 Fibonacci retracement right there, as you can see. And then the rest was history. And I feel pretty damn good about that one. Anyways, we can see the same thing over here as well. Not necessarily the same sort of actually pretty damn close as far as Fibonacci's go, but we actually would be right at the 618 Fibonacci retracement right here, to be fair. And this is on the line chart, by the way. And so if Bitcoin were to start to reject from this region, and more importantly, if Bitcoin starts to come back down below below the last daily higher low in this case, which would be this area right here, also in line with the 200 moving average as well, then we will start to, well, that is going to start to look a lot more concerning. Would it be the death sentence for myself? No, the death sentence for Bitcoin would be back down below that first major higher low that we saw prior to the blue buy signal on the hash rate indicator, which was right here actually. Big warning signals, however, below, you know, 45,000 bucks. And truth and you know, for my own personal trading, I will be not looking for any long-term positions if Bitcoin does start to cough up, especially about 46,000 bucks, as you can see right there. Anyways, with that said, you know, you can definitely see that this next week is probably going to be a week of great resolve and of great resolution. So to the upside, again, I would be looking for about another, let's see, I think it's on this chart right here. I'd be looking for another extension of about, well, if Bitcoin does take out this region right here, again, on a 4-hour closure above about 49, what is this exactly? 40, let's just call it 49,200 or so. Then I would be looking for another move up somewhere around about 51,000 to 51,500-ish region. Very likely a short-term pullback from there. And then if Bitcoin can close a higher term time frame above there, daily or above, maybe even a 12-hour as well, then I would be extending targets to the upside first before looking for a pullback. Those targets, like we did say, would be about 56,000 bucks. And if Bitcoin does fail anywhere around here, well, I don't really change around my opinion on the higher term timeframes until it comes back down and below about 46,000 bucks. Now, with that said, I do want to present this as well. I think that it's, of somewhat interest right here. And that would be this. Whoops, let me put these babies back on. Let me get rid of this one right here. Let me put on this right here. Okay, so this is the yellow 21. This is the blue 30 simple, and this is the white 200 moving average right there. What we're going to do is we're going to put it on daily. We're going to go over here to our long-term charts as well. And what can we see for right now? Well, we did just get a beautiful cross between the yellow 21 and the white 200 simple moving average right here. The blue 30 simple has not gone above the white 200 simple just yet. However, you can see a beautiful test in there. And so far, so good as far as the reaction. And let's just go over the historical results of this. As you can see, last time that we had an example like this was way back on over here. We get the 21 across the upside of the 200. Then the 30 simple falls after that. Long sideways. But that was, well, that, and then, you know, another 20,000 bucks all the way to 60 plus. We also have another example actually right here. This one, a bit of a failure, as you can see, but even with that failure, after getting even the 30 simple above there, there was about a 15.5% move. Very interesting. What about this one over here? Well, this one obviously going to be pretty damn good. As you can see, the 21 and 30 crossing the upside of the white 200 simple, about 165% move to the upside right there. Not bad. This one over here worked phenomenally well to the downside, but we won't talk about that one right now. And we can go back on over to October 2015. Same thing over here. In fact, this one very similar to the other cross that we were looking at, almost 8,000% to the upside. So a little bit better in comparison to the other one that we actually looked at as well. This one over here, a bit of a fake out. However, I would argue that there's a miscomponent of this one. First off, the 30 simple did not have a positive, the 21 exponential average did not have a positive slope. It actually had a flat slope right here alongside the 30 simple for the most part of this, and the 200 simple as well. They all kind of had not positive slopes at the same time. The 200 simple actually never got a positive slope. That would be the one sort of thing that I'd say, hey, this is a different signal right here. It's not to be considered of the same rapport. Anyways, do we have another example other than that? No, not really, except for this one over here. Again, you see them level out. Once they start to get all positive slopes, that's when this move really does get going, and that brings you all the way from, you know, 5.25 to 1,100, 1,200 bucks a couple years later, that is. Anyways, for right now, we are within the midst of actually putting this in. Again, the white 200 simple does have about a flat, somewhat positive slope. If we see that actually start to get positive curvature, that would look pretty damn good. Obviously, the 20 was already above there. It has already been retested for that cross as well. Good. The 30 simple following it as well. So this will start to come into greater and greater fruition the longer that Bitcoin can essentially just hold above, well, that last daily higher low, which on a closing basis, 47,000 bucks, on a wick basis, about 46 even. So that means that if Bitcoin can just remain above this region for the next, let's say 5 days or so, in line with 5-day analysis actually, then I would be looking for this one to really start to occur. And even on the failed signals, which this one does not have the same etchings as them yet, although it's also not a complete signal yet either. But if we were to take 15% to the upside first, where that put Bitcoin, 15% puts Bitcoin around 53,000 bucks. You know, what would 20% puts Bitcoin at like 55, 56,000 bucks. So very interesting right there as well. And we did see, that kind of in lieu with even the failed signals, which one of them is not anything like the one that we're seeing right now, and the other one was somewhat similar actually. So it's something to keep an eye on, but the other iteration is pretty damn consistent with that. Anyways, okay, cool. If we throw in the volume profile right here, just as a quick aside, you can see that we're right at the point of control. That is, well, I guess not so much if we do pull out a little bit further, as always, but more importantly, we are at a big thick node right here, the thickest node that we've seen basically since 34,000 bucks actually. So this is of interest, because if Bitcoin does start to fail below the $46,000 level, it will be a pretty nasty fall down to about 42, maybe 43,000 bucks, and fill out this area right here before the next sort of general bounce, and then we get to play the game of is this the big bull trap or not? But for right now, it's just potential. As you can see to the upside, the $56,000 target in line with that next high value node that you can see coming in right around here as well. So good confluence between all of those, which is what you want to see. We are 15 minutes into this video. Do I want to go a little bit longer? I guess we can look at momentum oscillators. Again, keep in mind that, on a Sunday, for the love of fucking God, like momentum oscillators just really not that trustworthy. They're bad enough to begin with, but on a Sunday, it's like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, okay, let's go see it over here. Anyway, if we were to give them any sort of credence, this would be certainly more on the bullish side. We did identify this yesterday. This trend line coming, I guess I already have it in there. This trend line coming in all the way in from middle of July, getting the last few lows, getting the lows right here, getting the lows right here, getting the lows right here, and potentially again right here as it does curl up, and will confirm a curl to the upside with any sort of a closure above 47,250 in the next 4 hours, 5 minutes, even actually. On top of that, if we do look at this secret sauce indicator right here, I'll probably present this one soon enough anyways. Very interesting, but we do see another fresh signal in this one actually, which would be suggesting a little bit of upside there as well. Daily, we will see daily stocks the upside with any sort of closure above 48,300. We are currently 200 bucks above that right now. If we do go down to the very low term time frames, like the 4 hour right here, 49,150 is magical number for this one. 3 hour says 49.4, bi hourly says 49,000 bucks, and hourly says 48,500 or so. And match that up with CME hourly way up there actually. Bi hourly is showing 46,660. Okay, that's actually rather in line with what we're looking at right now. And 4 hours completely different, as you can see right here. 47,200 is the magical number on this one as well. Just says one last little thing. I do want to check where the 5 day is right now. It is getting way up there, but 47,000 bucks, the magical number on this one as well. So we do see that kind of in alignment with the last daily low, which is good confluence. Once again, that also means that if Bitcoin starts to lose that level, this thing will turn around quite nastily. It'll probably take some time, obviously, but hey, we've been kind of slowly marching up these points of reference for the last month and a half now, as in my opinion, as you should, as Bitcoin kind of proves itself upwards and onwards. But the last one, in comparison to the last one over here, was another couple thousand bucks higher. So we do have 44.5 right here, now 47,000 bucks right here or so. And of course, the prior one of that was 38.2, and then the prior to that was actually the bear trap right around here at about 30,000 bucks. So with all of that in mind, as long as Bitcoin goes sideways within this region right here, especially for the next 24 hours, that'll look pretty damn good. But for the most part, I'm not too fussed with weekend price action. This is, again, a setup for the week to come with those levels in mind, and momentum oscillators are pointing a little bit more of a bullish picture than not. But again, if the weekly starts to turn down, which will actually probably start to show some weakness this week if it is going to do so, that would be a reversal. Do I think that that's what's going to happen? Probably not, no. But if it does happen, I'm happy to adjust my views and happy to adjust my positions as well. So with that in mind, should I show off my my testnet account here as well? You can probably figure out what the hell it's doing. And what am I still doing? I'm still holding my $33,000 long, because why not? PNL is 1.6. Bitcoin, not bad. And my options positions looking pretty much good across the board as decay comes into my favor. Looks like we're printing about 6.5 Bitcoin PNL right there. Not bad. And hey, the account's almost at 29 Bitcoin, started at like 10 or 15. So doing pretty well over the last like 2 months since I started trading this one. Not bad. Anyways, short term, a little bit of sideways is what I imagine probably goes on right here. And then we look for a resolution probably early tomorrow, Monday. With that said, I want to wish you the best. Take care, and until next time.